right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming to my channel. So today we're going to be going over my trade that I took today. As I mentioned before that I was trading on Tilt, it happened again. And we actually have another loss today, minus 299, unfortunately. So the account is now back down to like 400. I just need to get out when I need to get out and stop. The issue, okay, so let me tell you the reason why, right? So the issue is because I keep, um, I keep staying in. And the reason why I keep staying is because I keep risking too much. If I only risk like $100 and like price reverses, then like, I wouldn't feel so like attached. Let me move this camera once again. How do I, oh, no, I don't know how I did this yesterday. Well, I think I had it like this. It's fine. I thought, whatever, no. So, yeah, I keep risking too much, and that's the problem. That's the problem. I keep risking too much, and I just need to learn how to like stop putting too much risk down. So this is the trade that I took two trades today. Actually, one of them was actually green. No, this is not today. Today's the 24th. Oh, never mind. None of them were green. So that Tesla, how much did I lose on Tesla? Only 93? I'm finding that hard to believe. This was from, okay, let me tell you the annoying thing, right? So that Tesla contract actually ended up going like significantly down. And I could have exited actually so that my balance could be 800, but I didn't. And I'm actually mad at this Amazon and Microsoft. I took Amazon and Microsoft. Child, let me go. Let's actually figure this out because I honestly forgot the trades that I took. So now that we're here, let's go over that. So we did Tesla, Amazon, and Microsoft. Forget about Tesla because it was a swing trade. It was a swing trade, and I shouldn't have kept it. Basically, I was trading on tilt. All right. So what was I doing again? I did Amazon and Microsoft. Let's go to Amazon. Let's see why. Yeah, I was kind of pissed at this Amazon one because there was no need for me to go in. But if I had stayed in, I still would have been green. You see how like I'm putting myself in the hole? For some reason, I thought that this candle had bounced off of this red candle, right? So on the 15-minute, I drew those lines. I drew my what are the lines called? I drew my price targets. Tell me why I thought that this line had hit it and price had gone above here. Ugh, God, child, like I'm just gonna. There's no reason for me to have gotten into that trade, but let me just actually see if it was justified. Yeah, I had to get out. I had to get out of the trade because there was literally no need for me to do that. So on the 15-minute, I'm just gonna mark up my price targets. Got a price target right here. I think that was the only one actually. Yeah, because even when I went on the 1 hour, I believe we're at all-time highs for Amazon. Yeah, this is the all-time high for Amazon. So I believe that was the only one that I had up for calls. And then I'm going to start the price targets for the downside. One over here. One right here. And one right here. That's a third stack. So I go on the 2-minute. And let me tell you what, right? I don't know why I know why I got in. For some reason, I thought that this candle hit the red one. This was error, and I could have just exited immediately after I saw that. But because I was like, oh, it might go up, I still stayed in. Terrible, terrible. This is why we're doing the trade recaps, so that I can always come back here and watch what I should and shouldn't do. So I got in here because I saw that I thought it was a pullback. But let's just go over how I should have gotten in. I'm waiting for price to at least hit one of those zones. It's consolidating. Looks like price is going up. I see now that price touched here. So I wouldn't even be confident to take it in yet because I would have wanted to see prices significantly go over that zone, have a retest like here. So if price, since price came over this zone, especially with these three green candles, had a little bit of a pullback, I would anticipate price to go on over here, especially because there aren't any, there aren't any, this is all-time highs, so obviously there could be a rejection. But if we're talking about my strategy and getting in and everything, I would literally place this right at the over here for a 1-to-1. But obviously that's like, a bit of a stretch. So I could either place my target to come all the way up to 264 as that 1-to-1, or if I'm trying to be safe, I would choose this next low to go in for a very minimal 1-to-1, but that would be like a 60-cent move. But that's just if we're trying to be safe, okay? This is if we're trying to write price targets at the high zones. I'm gonna erase this. So do you see how we could have taken profit? It would have taken time though. But do you see how still would have taken profit? Would have taken time, but I would have had a great DTE. It would have I would have gotten in this trade. Honestly, I wouldn't go too much on that pullback. The pullback that I would love to get in on would be when I would actually see a shift in the market. So like right here, this shows an obvious shift in the market before it goes back up, and I would actually want to enter here. Mind you, there are different prospects in how you can enter here. So this is an actual pullback and price comes all the way up to here. I would have a stop loss of either that previous low, or I would have a stop loss of this low stack over here, and because obviously you want to get the most out of it, I would go in for a 1-to-2 or 1-to-1. You can go for a 1-to-1, but that only be like 70 cents. But to go in for a 1-to-2, I actually do use this method. I do like to go for a 1-to-2, especially when price kind of looks like this. And I would have been in that trade from 10:42 to 12:36, 2 hours. That's not even bad, to be honest, if you had a great DTE. But regardless, I still would have been up if I decided to get in on this trade at that mini pullback right here. This mini pullback, if I had gotten in over here, I still would have gotten in for the same $2. So, but I didn't. I ended up entering over here and exiting. It's so stupid, and I'm just gonna blame the contract that I had, but this was literally an almost dollar move, and the fact that I only was able to get $13 from that as a negative, honestly, is very unsettling. So let's go now to Microsoft and see why we got red. Actually, this was a valid red, to be honest. This could have been just my trade for today of losing that 100, and I would have been fine with it. So on the 15-minute, I already have my zones marked up. I go back here, and we're gonna see why we entered. I have 3 zones marked up here, and then 3 zones marked up here. Go down to the 2-minute, and basically just wait for price action. So I see that price severely rejected at this point over here. So now I'll be looking for a retracement. So this candle over here, and looking for a price to go above this zone. Oh, so this would have been an entry, or I would have, no, this wouldn't have been an entry because I'd be waiting for price to close above like the whole candle. But if you do want to do like an aggressive entry, this could have still been validated as an entry. But yeah, waiting for price still went up. Price actually went up and I was green, but I was waiting for price to continue to go up. Mind you, again, these price targets are just supposed to help mitigate my risk to know whether price is going to reject or continue to break structure to the upside. So I knew that my stop loss was going to be the previous low. So I would say that I entered here when price continued to go up. And actually, I think I mitigated it actually to the low at this bottom here. Oh yeah, no, it didn't, not here. Yeah, so this is another reason why you need to mitigate your risk, especially at the opening of market. And sometimes you do maybe want to wait for a better retracement. So like here maybe so that your stop loss could be the previous break of structure, like the previous low stack. But I didn't do that in this trade, and honestly, my psychology was low key messed up, and price ultimately tanked. And I believe I got out like somewhere around this zone. I got out around here, and that led to the negative. But yeah, that's it, man. That's the trade that I took today. Red day, ended the. Unfortunately, I really wouldn't didn't want to end this month red, but I did get a payout. I'll actually have a video on my payout. Probably next video. I'll probably film it tomorrow. Just talking about how um, I was I actually followed like this to the T and was able to get myself a payout. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. I'm adding it now. You can join if you want to. It's free. There's a paid option, but the free still gives you, what does it offer? I forget. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one.